Hello. You can't. You can't see it, but I have weirdo hairs that are growing out my ears. Because I'm letting my sideburns grow, I got the wispy hairs. They're not long enough to go behind my ears. They will be in a couple of months, but they're not right now, and you can eat my cunt. That didn't even make any sense. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. It's just what rhymed with the word, Tracy. Let's give some love. Tracy first in here. SJ is here. SJ, Tom and I need to talk to you. You're on Tom's shit list. Not really. You know what I mean. You're too kind. You're way too nice. I have to send him like I have to send him 40,000 bagels. 40,000 bagels. Shred Bear, EMH82. Shell is there. Kupo's there. Hello, Kupo. Just Jen. Keyed Up Medium. Where you at this morning, buddy? Are you on Disney property yet? DeBerry Joe, good morning. I think I got Shred Bear, but I'll hit you again. Not really in trouble. He's just a very nice man, and he does nice stuff for me and Tom. And a little too nice. You know what I mean? Like too far. Like, and then we're like, oh man, you're too nice. And then we got to figure out something nice to do for you. So I got to send you. Oh yeah, so SJ's wife said she's in for 40,000 bagels. Yeah. You know what I didn't get to try, and I want to try. They had that pineapple. I'm not interrupting Tom. He's doing something. I'm talking to you guys. They had a pineapple pizza bagel that I wanted to try. That did sound good. Something about pineapple mixed in the dough sounded kind of yummy to me. Well, very good to see all of you guys. Welcome to the show. We are starting at our normal time. It feels, though, early for some reason. I don't know why. It's freezing inside the studio, hot outside. What are we starting with here today? Just a normal little thing?
We'll talk about Jordan and the...
You want to talk about... Yeah, it's just breaking news. Oh, very cool. DeBerry Joe says, one of my customers' daughter is in the cosplay competition for MegaCon. Well, that's really cool. Bobby says, I want to hear about this lady who jacked off a dolphin. I don't care how many times. Yeah, we can talk to you about it again.
Is Tracy's in there?
Tracy is in there. What do you need?
Tracy, where do you I'm on OSC.
No, I'll tell her.
I'm trying to get where do you get tickets for the night at the museum?
What are you talking about? That's a movie. It hasn't been out in 20 years. This guy's cracking up. He thinks that Night of the Museum. Robin Williams is dead, dude.
It's
Teddy Roosevelt dead.
Happening this Saturday.
Night at the Museum. You could have me look this up instead of struggling through it. You say, hey, Dan, go find the thing. What are we looking for now?
No, well.
Is that OSC or History Center? Where are we going?
No, it's Science Center.
Science Center. ISC.org. Let's see what we can find. Put the link in the chat room, Tracy, and I'll pop it up. We're more than a museum. We're a science center. Hey, what's up, podcast media? I got your package. It's right here. We finally, Tom, it was real. The shirts are real.
All right.
I got it right here. There you go. See? Took us 6 weeks to do that. The magic of mail. Should I open them? Oh, she put it in here. I got it. Thank you, Tracy.
But where do you go?
Kids night at the museum.
Kids night.
So you go to osc.org/visit.
Okay.
Let me see if it's under. Is it under programs, theaters, events? Got to be events. No, it's not. No, I understand what you're saying. Tom wants to know, like, how do I get people there?
Yeah, I'm just going to, when I promote it, I just want to say, like, hey, go to osc.org.
That's wherever. As far as you can go, because it's too long of a title afterwards.
And, I was looking at the front page. And
it's not on the dynamic lead either. So, is it... Yeah, that's a hard one. Tracy, that's a hard one. TomandDan.com? Okay. She says say TomandDan.com.
Okay, it's just on the front page.
That's easier than anything. Yeah, if our link goes to it, that's better because they don't have anything on there. And that's not a diss. That's just facts. All right, man. Would you like to begin? Or is this a coming back?
Beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for tonight.
All right, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on the streaming platforms, Twitch and YouTube. Head over there and search at Tom and Dan Live. Like and subscribe. We'd love to see you in the chat room.
If you're looking to drop your kids off for a date night this weekend.
I know what that means. Getting it in.
The Orlando Science Center is doing Kids Night at the museum. It's from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's this Saturday, February 8th, and you drop your kids off at 5. You pick them up by 10. They feed them pizza. They have a bunch of special activities, and you can get your tickets. You can go to tomanddan.com, click on the link for the Science Center.
There's a Science Center link at tomanddan.com, and again, it's ages 5 to 12.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's awesome.
Is it cool, like, if you're looking for a babysitter, like having the Science Center. It's better than a babysitter
because they're just
going to play Roblox at home.
Yeah. We never, you know what's funny? We've never had a babysitter. We've only done this because we have such great partnerships with like the Science Center and some of our other partners do these type of things. Andrea and I've never had a babysitter come over. We've only done the drop-off because it's just better. It's like you drop them off, and then they have, like, enrichment. They got some crafts.
They're doing something.
They're at the Science Center, for Christ's sake.
Oh, because we have, like, Crystal.
So I got to get her off the Bob's Burgers. All she does is sit and watch Bob's Burgers. You could do something.
Anyway, so that's this Saturday at the Science Center. So we saw some breaking news.
Breaking news. Let me put it up here.
That Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan.
Yeah. Orlando's pride and joy, I would say.
Happened last night. Got arrested for DUI, cocaine possession, resisting arrest.
He got them all. He hit them all that way.
I saw it was
cocaine's still in, huh? It's never gone away, has it?
No.
Cocaine's always been a powerful. I would say that cocaine.
Yeah.
See, I don't even look at weed. We're just gonna speak freely here. Weed to me is not a drug.
Oh, that's medicine.
Yeah, weed is medicine.
That is like Neosporin.
Yeah, I say weed keeps America going. America runs on weed. I don't think I can say that.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I don't even think of that. But cocaine, it comes up, and it's the one that people use when they really want to party.
Yeah, but the stimulant.
Yeah,
you
you're
need
getting
a stimulant.
crazy.
I know a little something about stimulants.
You do know
that's
thing.
good.
Oh, we got a lot of emails from people that said that's what's changed your, like New Testament Tom and Old Testament Tom.
The
amphetamines.
Amphetamines.
They're saying that the annoying part of you is the fact that you're addicted to Adderall that you don't need.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, America's addicted. Blame Joe Biden.
Okay, sounds good to me. Yeah, why not?
Anyway, so
I don't think cocaine's ever gone away.
Yeah,
I've never done it.
Me neither.
Never done cocaine.
Yeah, but I know what it feels like from the Adderall. I don't know. I think cocaine hits you fast and hard, and it makes you feel invincible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Marcus Jordan gets arrested. I saw on the news story.
But that's not even the coolest part of Marcus Jordan.
Well, first, let me ask you this. I saw that it was Maitland PD that got him, right?
Yeah.
I live in Maitland.
Yes, you do. Okay.
I'm very familiar with it. I got some friends in Maitland PD that are BDMs that I'll,
You and the illustrious Marcus Jordan live in Maitland?
Who's
more famous in Castleberry-Maitland area? You or Michael Jordan's cocaine-loving son, Marcus Jordan? Who's the bigger celebrity?
Where does Marcus? He lives in Winter Park, right?
He lives near the Buffalo Wild Wings, where everybody in Castleberry lives.
So
that is my B-dub-dub.
So if you're the cop that arrested Marcus Jordan,
I don't know who it is. I don't know who the hell it is.
But everybody is like, "Oh, you got Jordan's son!" Like they're all talking about it, and it's a big deal.
Nice dunk.
Also, would you
3-point line?
Like if this was more like Mexico, then Marcus Jordan.
We'd be pausing our tariffs right now if they were more like Mexico.
Marcus would have said like, "Hey, I'll give you name the price to let me go," right? Because he has unlimited money.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't do that. I haven't seen any video or any details emerge, but he was resisting arrest.
Yes, yeah.
So
well, that's the wrong way to do it.
That's the wrong way to do it. Yeah.
You need bribery.
Yeah, the first way. I mean, you give them anything. You give them anything they want.
You can't bribe nowadays because everybody has body cams.
You can bribe these days.
I don't think.
I think people are still bribing. Body cameras get turned off all the time. You're not doing it right.
But I think the cop would be, because he walks up with the body cam. He doesn't know it's Jordan's son.
You can't say it. You got to show it. You got to set some money out. You instantly take your wallet out. You're carrying cash at all times, or you drop the glove box. Boom, glove box comes open. You pull out a wad of cash. You just set it on the passenger seat, and you comply. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But there's a giant wad of cash.
But they're already filming. He's screwed. The cop's screwed because he can't take the bribe. He's already filmed this whole thing. It's in a database somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he has to know it's Marcus Jordan, then turn it off.
You have to write it on a piece of paper and hold it off camera.
It's just almost impossible to bribe nowadays. But if he was able to bribe, I still think I
could do it. That's how stupid I am. I think there's a way I could figure out how to do it.
The cop would be too afraid to take it because he'd ruin his career. He'd get arrested.
There's plenty of cops that will take bribes.
But they can't because the video.
No, but you're speaking in absolutes again. There are cops that will take bribes.
They will, I guess. They just take the chance.
And they do, and then they get in trouble for it. And then I'm sure there are plenty that don't.
Yeah. I just don't know how you get away with it without being nervous that it's like, oh, that bribe was on camera.
Yeah, you might be nervous, but I mean, there was that lady. Remember that lady that was an official? There was a lady that was like literally a public official who was in a golf cart, and she knows that their cameras are on, and she was like saying, or maybe it was a man, I forget, but one of them was saying on camera, like, hey, turn the camera. They're like whispering, like, turn the camera off. Turn the camera. And people still go to try to do it.
I wouldn't even blame that cop if, like, Marcus Jordan gave him $250,000 to let him go, and then I look at it like winning the lottery. Like, I don't care. Like, that cop was lucky that he pulled over Marcus Jordan.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like it would do better for that police officer getting a lump sum of money than it would for Marcus Jordan. Like,
what
was he doing that was like terribly bad?
A DUI.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. You could kill somebody doing that. That's bad.
Yeah. The cocaine possession, don't care.
Yeah.
The resisting arrest, it makes me confused about, like, what he... Like, you're just making it worse. Like,
I don't think he's known for that either. Look, I'm speaking out of turn, and we're saying just our opinion, and we know nothing about this case. I just want to let the record reflect that.
Well, he'd been arrested before, and
yeah, he's a bit of a he likes to party. I'll say that.
Yeah, he
likes
does
to
like to party. So,
which leads us to the most interesting thing about Marcus Jordan. Has nothing. What kind of leads us down this trail of deceit, party and lifestyle, and likes to have fun. And what's the most fun thing that I think I could do is to sleep with and have a relationship with my dad's superstar, ex-enemy, and partner on the court.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen. That's awesome.
I know that's old news, but just because Marcus Jordan's in the news again, and it would be the equivalent. It's insane that he dated Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. It's weird.
Allow me to paint a picture for you and the listeners that is going to rattle you. And if you get rattled easily, you might want to turn off your radio. This would be the equivalent of you and I winning and being successful, which some could say on a very small level we are. And then we split horribly, and then we go out in the press and start yelling at each other and talking about how bad things are. And then my eyes turn yellow, and then Max starts dating Andrea, and then they have flings in Curacao.
No. You'd be Pippen in this scenario.
No.
My eyes would be yellow. Yeah. You're the Pippen.
Oh, I'm Pippen. You're right.
Yeah, because my son is dating
your eyes turn yellow,
Andrea.
And then Max starts dating Andrea.
Yeah.
And they have a Curacao fling.
Yeah.
And
he dated her hard for 2 years. Yeah. And now I did say, like, even though Michael Jordan said he was against it, this is better for Jordan and to get his enemy because his son is banging his enemy's ex-wife.
It's very basketball Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but Jordan's got the one up by having his son bang his enemy's ex-wife.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Then that kind of led me down a path of like, well, this guy's got to be a little wacky, right? Because you didn't grow up with the best of dads. You pointed that out. You were like, you asked me. You're like, how could Michael Jordan have been? Would it have been ever possible for him to be a good dad? And be Jordan?
Well, he
probably.
He couldn't have been around.
It's an impossibility.
He's not. Yeah, he's never around.
Especially at that time. I mean, now I would even give some superstar dads more of a pass because of technology. But he didn't get the benefit of the internet. That guy.
Yeah.
It's just planes and cars.
And not that Jordan is ever a bad. I watched the Michael Jordan documentary series like everybody did during COVID.
Yeah. We had to almost. It was like must-see TV.
And the guy, liked to gamble, and you can, everybody's like an extreme competitor, but. He's a little crazy in the way that he would make everybody his enemy.
Well,
like
everybody's
all
like,
this how
crazy.
Good.
Okay, so Michael Jordan a little crazy, Scottie Pippen a little crazy. Michael Jordan has a son, Marcus Jordan, ends up dating and having a relationship with Scottie Pippen. He knew that lady when he was a kid.
Yeah, like 7 when they.
He knew that lady as a kid, and then he ends up like banging her. They're all a little crazy, right? They're all a little.
I looked up
just like Game of Thrones. They're all open to incest because they're all a little nuts, right?
I looked up his other son, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe Marcus
What's
Jordan.
His name? Jeffrey Jordan.
I think it's Jeffrey Jordan. His only other son.
Yeah.
Who's is younger than Marcus, and
go UCF, go Knights.
So, Marcus played UCF basketball,
go
but
Knights.
And so does the other son played some basketball as well. Could you imagine though playing basketball and being Jordan's son? Like you just always, no matter.
It's kind of how Maisie feels with podcasting. Can you imagine trying? That shadow is so huge.
Everybody's looking at you. You're like, not as good.
Yeah.
Just, no matter how hard you try, the genetics.
I don't even know. Even if you were. We'd seen it before, so you'd never be able to be as good. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you were an exact replica of your dad and did similar things. Like you were competing close.
Different league.
Yeah, it's a separate set of eyes, so you can never do it.
And no matter what you say, yes, it does matter how good you are, but luck does fall your way and make you the best. Like, so like everybody who's the best there ever was had some luck fall their way to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like poker. You know, no matter how good you are, if you're playing a game that has any luck, and basketball does, and every sport does, then luck has to fall your way to get to the level you're at, in one way or the other.
I mean, basketball is the hottest thing being talked about right now with the Luka Doncic trade and to the Lakers and all of that. I mean, we got...
You can look at every Jordan championship and pick out a bunch of things in every game that he won and said, if this happened differently, he wouldn't have won. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ball goes 1 inch to the right, it didn't win.
Yeah.
You know, like, so anyway, but back to Marcus Jordan. So we all look at this and we're like, Michael Jordan's son, DUI, cocaine, like, how can he, he's letting his life go this direction. You have the opportunity to have it all.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's the weird part about this is like, I looked up to remind myself how rich Michael Jordan is. He's worth $3.5 billion.
Yeah,
right?
and I think a lot of people forget that because he, like, these days you don't really see much of him.
And not only that, but he also owns so much stake in so many businesses, including like,
he's like
a partnership with Nike.
A true businessman. The partnership with Nike is disgusting. It's humongous.
And he owns a part of DraftKings, and then
he does.
And then also dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of other businesses.
Okay,
right?
like I could be wrong on this, but there's Nike, and then within Nike there's Jumpman, which is his logo. And from what I understand, if you took that little company of Jumpman, which does collegiate sports, they do all the uniforms for NCAA. Like, if you just take that out of there, it's still $1 billion company alone. Which is gross.
So it's not even that he's worth $3.5 billion, is the companies he's owner in. And who knows if he's going to leave this all to his kids or not. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But even the companies that he's a part owner in make a generational wealth of unlimited money, okay?
Yeah,
so
it's
unlimited
huge.
money
It's
for
huge,
for all time, for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, we forgot he was the GM or is the GM of the Hornets or was. Yeah.
But even that's probably, that business doesn't even do that well.
But I think what Norm is saying, it's just he's in that sphere, the access that the guy has, right?
So then you're Marcus Jordan, right? And so what do you do?
Well, I know what I do. I go to Buffalo Wild Wings in Maitland and do some cocaine. That's what I do. I go to Buffalo Wild Wings Maitland. I do cocaine. I like the mango habanero. They're really hot. And I wash it down with, 6 Mick Ultras. That's a great Monday night.
And I know, like, I really do try to figure out, like, what do you do?
You think he's a boneless wingman or a bone-in? I think he's a bone-in guy.
How
Carolina, I feel like that's more southern.
Do you tell yourself, like, all right, there's unlimited resources for the rest of my life, right? I have he's 34 now.
Well, that's why you slip up.
So you have 50 years.
That's why these guys make so many slip ups. They're not living in the same world as we are.
No, yeah. So I know. But I'm trying to even like figure out, do you just say, well, I got 50 years, maybe. If like
the chat room's cracking me up. They're like, "What do you do, Tom? All of the drugs in the world." That's what the chat room said. That was their answer.
You don't do too much because
you can't.
You don't want to end your 50 years early.
Now, what is
you need to enjoy every day of life.
What does he do? He owns the Trophy Room, which is a high-end basketball memorabilia and shoe store. That's a nothing, right? I'm not being mean.
Yeah.
He's not like, let's look at the books of the Trophy Room, and he goes in, he's like, we made $1 million this year. He doesn't have a real job.
No.
He's just his life is vacation.
Yes.
So of course this happens.
It's funny because he was in the
he's on a TV show, The Villains or something right now, right?
He was in the south of France, and then some paparazzi video or took a picture of him doing cocaine at the table.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
He had literally a key of
a
bump of cocaine, and he's like bringing it up to his nostril. Like it couldn't be any more obvious. But so it's
put that on a Wheaties box.
Yeah, and you also forget that like years ago, Jordan's businesses and his attorneys like gave the max amount of money to his kids because at this point it's just tax loopholes. You know what I'm saying? So there's this unlimited money. But you just decide to enjoy life every day as much as possible without dying.
No.
And without cutting your life short, because you don't want to do that if you party too much, then
No,
you may
it's-
cut off 20 years at the end.
I think it's sicker than that. I think that you actually think that you have. I think you actually are delusional enough to think that you're out there grinding and doing it like we are.
You tell yourself that.
Yeah.
Because a person's hard work is subjective.
Correct.
So he could be like, making a couple phone calls. He's
Like, why
"Ah,
was he out
whatever."
partying on a Monday night like that? He's blowing up some steam. It's rough out there. See what I'm saying? Like, you're going to rationalize it however you're going to rationalize it.
Although the only
Maitland on a Monday night, you're getting popped for cocaine? Come on, buddy.
Well, that's another weird thing, because then I look back and I'm like, okay, if I have unlimited resources, why not just have a driver at all times that you employ that just
Well,
drives
regardless,
around?
I mean, maybe you save that for the weekend, right? It's not even a holiday. It's not even Memorial Day. I'm just saying it's weird to be out doing cocaine on a Monday night. It's weird.
But you could have done that and got away with it if you had a driver. His problem was driving. He wouldn't have ever got pulled over if you were.
Could. Well, I mean, we don't know that. The driver pulls you over and you're in the back of the car, and because he's driving weird, because he's on cocaine, because he's your buddy.
No, you pay him to. You know what I'm saying? He is a professional driver. You pay $200,000 a year, but then maybe that it's something weird about, like, if I had a professional driver, like the fact that he just sits around most of the day and does nothing, like I get like that bothers. I don't know.
It's probably less than that.
Weird.
It's more of like, well, why not just drive myself? Because if I have a driver, then I'm more like Michael Jordan's son and less like the grinder that I think I am in my delusional mind. Because real grinders drive themselves to Buffalo Wild Wings to do cocaine. They don't have their driver do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think it's all part of the package.
Because you're not. Yeah. It's. We're all looking at this weird life this guy from birth.
Kind of sad.
And
That's
it is
the weird, because I think it's twisted, because
I would not want my sons to have that
no,
life.
there's no normality.
Which is weird to say, like unlimited money.
No, I think this guy's a
unlimited
weirdo.
everything,
I mean, look, we're making jokes and stuff like that, but honestly, I think some of the stuff he's probably seen,
Yeah.
some of the relationships he's had, the relationship he has with his dad, the fact that he's dating his dad's ex-partner's like 50-year-old, like, why? It's weird. That's a weird. That's just not a.
And then another thing that's odd too is when you become the best there ever was at something or whatever, like get that height of fame or whatever, you're cursing everyone around you. If you think about it, like you're cursing your kids, you're cursing like their kids. If you happen to be the best,
if you go all in, maybe,
like Brady's. Although his kids stay out of trouble so far, but they're not old yet.
I think they have a relationship, but I think we'd be surprised at how weird it is.
Yeah.
It's not like what we have.
And I know that people are out there like, well, I'd give anything to have that amount of money and that, whatever. But there is a curse that comes along with it that you'll never have a normal. I say normal, but it'll be difficult to ever have any semblance of normality and your kids and your kids' kids almost you got the dad, the patriarch of a family got so big that it kind of cursed the generations below them. Even though there's unlimited money, but that's kind of a curse.
I think it's possible, but I just don't think it's going to happen very often. I think that more often than not, unless you would have to have the mother side of that would have to be so insanely influential on the opposite side. And then you'd almost have to compartmentalize and have the patriarch go off and do it while the matriarch holds down. You see what I'm saying? There'd have to be almost like but the cohesion that you want, because I know you like to do everything with your family, that's not a real thing. I don't think it could ever happen. Because you're right,
impossible.
It poisons it. It poisons the family.
Yeah, you could never have a normal, like if you reach that level, you could never have just, you were spending all the time trying to be the best. You can't have some sort of balance where you're like, I'm a dad on the week. You're training and you're trying to be the best.
This is all like common sense, but then I would imagine if your dad is spending all of this time to do the best and you have access to unlimited money and drugs, then you just go off and do those. Because it's way more fun. I mean, your dad's not around.
And again,
right?
Aren't you trying to just live the best day by day you can because you have 50 years of unlimited resources?
Yeah.
Might as well feel the best every day.
So,
I don't know.
So go to France and do cocaine?
Yeah.
Okay, we figured it out.
So you told me that a couple things happened.
Oh, chirping. Let me tell you about Andrea. I've been rubbing off on my wife. Yeah, I've been telling you that the The theme of the year, this year so far, starting out, moving from January into February, is, hey, Dan, don't always make jokes at all times. But I'm a chirper at heart, and so sometimes I chirp.
Yep.
Well, my wife happened to be picking up Maisie yesterday, just kind of standing in line, picking her up at dance, and she started chirping with this newer lady, just kind of talking to her. And then the lady, I don't know how they got on the topic, but they got on the topic of being an osteo or working in as a doctor for bones.
Okay.
And Andrea starts talking to the lady, and the lady's like, oh, yeah, my husband is I'm not going to say any names, but he's the lead surgeon for this particular health company and with the Orlando Magic. And she's like, so what's going on with your husband? And Andrea says, oh, yeah, he's been having some problems with her hips. And she's like, I could just give you the magical hotline number, and you could just call to make an appointment today.
No, all right.
And I'm like, what?
That's how business is done.
What do you mean the magical hotline number? So Andrea was gifted this number. Now, let me walk you through what happened. So the lady gives her the number. Then Andrea comes home and says, hey, I just met this lady. I was talking to her. Her husband's like the head of the orthopedic here. He does all the surgeries. Orlando Magic. I'm like, hey, that's all I need to hear. She's like, I got the magic number. So I'm like, well, what's the magic number? She's like, let's find out. Let's call. So she calls this number. It goes right to a scheduler. Now, granted, I have an appointment. I will not be seen until end of March, beginning of April. Right?
Yeah.
That's how long I'm waiting. We call the magic number, and the lady's like, hey, you want to come in this Friday at 8 a.m.? I'm like, yeah, that'd be perfect, so I can make the Friday free show and everything. And we'll meet you. You get to go and talk to somebody and everything.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
But where are these magic numbers, and how do you just got to know? You just got, they have some health care for rich people, and then they have health care for poor people.
Yes.
It took me a long time to figure that out.
You didn't figure that out.
I did not know that. I didn't know they had rich health care and poor health care.
And you know what? We used to be, there's a time where you could be above the law. But because stupid video cameras ruined it, and Marcus Jordan's in jail.
This ties right in because So Andrea had, and I have a magical number that I could call, and you're like, I don't feel it. They're like, we'll get you right in. Here you go, Orlando, go Magic.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Thank
happens
you,
once you start calling them over and over. The guy's like, change the number.
This
guy is bothering
so they
me.
will flag my account.
Yeah. But they'll get you in. Yeah. It's everything's who you know.
Okay.
Everything's who you know. Everything is done with handshakes and favors. What can this do for me? I'm going to give this person this. That's how
Chat room checking in. Jay Korn says, it helps knowing people in the medical field. Son just had an MRI done on Friday, and I'm friends with the doc that ordered the MRI. He got me in the next day and asked for the report EOD same day of MRI. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're poor and don't know anyone, dead.
Yeah. If you're lonely poor.
I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just telling you.
So if you were poor right now,
what happens?
Work on your relationships. It'll make you less poor.
Yeah, but no one wants to be friends with poor people.
Yeah, well, you gotta not look like a poor person.
Yeah.
You gotta not look
like
they'll
know.
They'll smell you. And they're like, oh my God, I think you smell like a poor person.
Actually, you can scam your way in just by chirping, and then you turn out to be Epstein.
That happens.
You didn't really do anything.
What's this guy do?
You just talked a bunch of S.
What's this guy do?
And you built an island,
in charge of the girls.
Island.
Yeah, he's in charge of the young people.
I still want to. Like, what the hell did this guy pretend to be? I don't even tell it.
Sheik.
No,
he pretended to be a sheik.
They just gave him it's bizarre.
Yeah, they might be going on right now where rich people are just pretending to know everything and they're just wandering around the world.
Be so naive in what aspect, but be the richest people. I don't understand.
But sometimes we do that. You and I are real bad of going like, they gotta know, right? They didn't.
No, I know.
And we do it all the time.
No, I know.
We're the worst. Let me throw one more since we're just doing my health gripes. Let's throw one more in there, and I think you'll really like this one. This is like super duper funny. So and what's weird is I may be giving some information to people that you don't even know, but I'm 48 years of age, and it was
what?
Yeah, I know. It was. I know. I look way older.
I thought you were.
You're like close to 60, 62. So it used to be that at the age of 50, you would go and schedule your colonoscopy.
Okay.
No big deal. Everybody says, it's not a big deal. It's just like going to anything else, right? But when I turned 48, I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, they changed it. It's 45 now. You're late. So he's like, you got to line it up for your colonoscopy.
We need more money, so we moved it up.
That's kind of what I thought, right? So They give me a number, and they're like, okay, this is the scheduler. Just call, and then you'll call them, and then leave a message, and then they'll call you back to schedule.
Okay.
This is what they do. So I call them. I leave a message with my number, and then they call back. Now, it's been weeks where they haven't called me back. Then Andrea will call them, leave my number, then they won't call me back. So we've been waiting on this for weeks.
Okay.
So yesterday I call, leave a message, say, please call me back. I need to schedule my colonoscopy. They're like, okay. Later in the day, we get done here. I go home. Phone rings. I'm answering all of my phone calls now because it could be the scheduler for this colonoscopy. So they call. I pick up the phone. They're like, hold on. Let me see if I can do this so you can understand what I was dealing with. Here, hold on. Yes, this is Daniel.
Can I ask you 50 questions about your colonoscopy?
So she wants to ask me. She's like, "Can you?"
Ah.
So I'm sitting there. Andrea's sitting beside me and I'm like, "Yeah, you got me. Yeah, we could go ahead and do this." I thought it was funny. She said 50 questions. I'm like, "Yeah. So go ahead." She's like,
Right now, are you experiencing diarrhea?
and I'm like, "Well, I have IBS, so yes, I am."
Goodbye.
That's what I dealt with yesterday. The lady called me. She said, "Can I?" She said, "Can I ask you 50 questions about your colonoscopy? We have to ask you questions about your colonoscopy." Oh. I said, "Yes, you can. You got me. Let's go." She goes, "Question 1, do you have diarrhea?" I said, "I have IBS, so yes, I do." She said, "Thank you. Bye-bye," and hung up.
Because they can't do it with diarrhea. Because it's too much of a mess.
So I had to. The chat rooms, they're cracking up. I'm like, what the hell is going? So I call back. I start asking the lady. I'm like, what is happening? I said, the lady asked me questions. She asked, question 1 was, do you have diarrhea? I said, yes, because I do have diarrhea. It's in my chart. This is the part that's maddening. It's in my chart. It says I have diarrhea. It says I have a gastroenterologist.
But they can't do it with diarrhea.
Then I'll never get it done. Then I'm never. I told her that. I told her that. I said, no, that's what Andrea said to do. I said, I can't do that. Because literally not even seconds before I answered that phone call, he just dropped out of me like a flood. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to lie to him. Then what's the point of going?
I take medications, like I mentioned, Adderall, whatever. I've never told any doctor that I've taken
That's bad, though, because if they give you a drug that interacts with your Adderall, it can literally make you crazy and repeat yourself and ask the same question over and over again.
I'll just look it up on Google. Whatever they prescribe me, I'll look it up on Google, then they'll tell me.
It was so crazy. So what I found out, I had to call them back, and I'm like, hey, the lady just asked me if I had diarrhea. I said, yes, and she hung up on me and said I had to call back. And the lady's like, oh, yeah, baby, you must have flagged one of the markers. And I'm like, well, what do you mean flag one of the markers? And she's like, well, they do ask you the 50 questions, and then if any of them, like you say yes to, then they do make you see the gastroenterologist before you go in for the. But I said, my point was, I already have this condition. You're just trying to get money. And I said that. I said, you just want me. I said,
they love money.
I said, what I'm trying to do is to make this one visit, not 2 visits. If I already have a condition that I know I have, then you should already know it on my chart, and then we don't need to talk about it.
They love money and diarrhea markers. That.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was.
Once they can send you to someone else, they'll think, "Oh, I'll get the $90."
And this is the second time, and I know this sort of fits it's crazy that this is the second time I've had to talk to people that I have literally it's very difficult to understand what anyone is saying anymore on the phone. We should just do everything text. It's just easier that way.
Can I tell you how to live your life?
Yeah, please. I need advice, please.
Hey, quit telling anybody anything.
Okay, all right.
Stay quiet.
You've said this before.
Yeah. Just go through the protocol and don't put nothing on the forms. Don't tell them the truth. Don't tell them how you feel. Don't say you're nervous. Don't say you're not nervous.
Don't say anything. Just keep quiet.
You know, like when the guys that get pulled over on social media and they don't tell the cop it, they just roll down the window 1 inch and then sovereign citizen, tell them that. That's it.
I do understand why people there's people that you'll have, like you'll see a person that's in like Centric Care, and then you'll look at them and you'll be like, And then you'll look, oh my God, and they'll have like a black mole on their neck that's the size of 3 softballs, and it's just festering, and you know they're going to be dead soon.
Yeah.
And you're like, why didn't you come here before? And you realize, and then you know why. When you have these interactions, you're like, I know why that person didn't. I know why they stayed home.
Also, mental illness.
Yeah, that's a little bit of mental illness.
A lot
Yeah.
of mental illness.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to speak to a doctor right after this.
Perfect. Andrea and I laughed so hard about the diarrhea because the lady did immediately hang up on me. And she was, Andrea's sitting beside me because I was mad. I was like, I'll call and get it scheduled. And she said, what happened? I go, I said a yes to diarrhea. And she hung up on me. And Andrea started cracking up. Fucking dickheads. Where's that go again? That is Tuesday.
Tuesday 1. And then we're going to do like just a 10-minute or 12-minute Tuesday.
I gotcha. I got to take this sweater off. What up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us. I'll open your shirts in a little bit, podcast.
Hello? Hello? Oh, can you hear me? Yep, yeah, I got you now. Sorry, I didn't have you.
Yeah, that's when Andrea's agreeing with Tom. It's like you go full logic.
And then we'll just literally, talk about the webinar tomorrow, what time people sign up, and then we'll just bullshit a little bit. Cool. All right, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you should bring that up too. Andrea actually agreed with you. And she's like, why'd you say yes to diarrhea? You should have just said no. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like being at work. Yeah, but then Andrea brought it up. What if you get to 49 and they're like, do you have IBS? And I'm like, yes. And they're you're done.
I don't even read the questions on all my doctor form. I put no the whole time. And then sometimes I look at the last questions just to make sure it's not they're not
Did you say
me.
yes to all questions? You're like,
Yeah. I look at the last one and I was like, all right, no, everything.
What line's he on?
Line 1, I believe.
Dr. Powers, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, how are you?
Awesome. Good, man. Good. All right, here we go. I gotcha. Sounds good.
We'll ask Dr. Powers about the diarrhea.
All right. I'm sure he loves that. Yeah, I'm sure he loved hearing it. Okay, hold on 1 second. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. On the line with us right now, we'll ask him about your diarrhea.
Yeah.
You should have lied.
That's what happens when you have friends that are doctors. You got to ask them every medical question you have.
From myeternalvitality.com, Dr. Robert Powers. How you doing, Dr. Powers?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Real quick, so Daniel has a colonoscopy that he's got scheduled, and he got some sort of call. And the first question was,
Do you have diarrhea? Yes, number 1, do you have diarrhea?
he said he did have diarrhea. They just hung up on him.
They hung up on me. It's like talking to a Vietnamese air traffic controller.
Is that because they can't do the colonoscopy if Daniel has diarrhea?
Well, when you're having it.
Every second.
No, not diarrhea. The colonoscopy.
I'm currently having her. I guess the real question would be, Doctor,
sorry.
when aren't I having
When are you not having diarrhea?
Well, he's trying to schedule it.
I mean, and I made that joke to the lady, Dr. Powers. They do not like jokes. I said, pardon, and I just said it just like this. Andrea will back me up. I said exactly this phrase. I said, pardon, but if you're trying to find a time when I don't have diarrhea, I'm probably never going to have a colonoscopy. And the lady didn't laugh at all. Didn't even laugh.
It's oddly weird that people that talk about poop all day don't think poop is funny.
Right. Thank you. See, this guy knows.
Yeah.
I love Dr. Powers.
Yeah.
Good man.
No, you can have it. I mean, I don't know why they were asking that, but they want to make sure that you're cleaned out before you go for the colonoscopy.
Guess what? I am. Here's another thing. Wouldn't, and not to get too graphic, but I'm just saying, doesn't mine help the condition? Doesn't it make it better? Like when you go to the NASCAR track, if there's concrete all over the track, you can't run the cars. But if it's covered in oil slick, it's fast as hell.
That's pretty true. Pretty true.
Sorry, I don't mean to scream. I don't mean to scream.
Sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah,
from
let's
Daniel's
get to the real stuff.
Just one tip before we move on. When you do have it, do the prep early. Don't listen to them.
Okay.
They're going to tell you to start it like later at night. Do it early in the day.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're going to be up all night.
Okay. There you go. I'm up all night anyway from the insomnia, but I appreciate you looking out.
So Dr. Powers is putting on a webinar tomorrow, and that's Wednesday. What time does it start, Dr. Powers?
7 p.m.
Nice.
7 p.m. And tell us about the webinar. What is it about?
Well, it's going to be about overcoming fatigue, low libido, and unwanted weight gain. Kind of all the things that we struggle with when we get older, right? We're going to talk about the causes of this. We're going to talk about some tips of how maybe you can improve these things on your own. And then if those things aren't working, of course, you could always come see us. But this is more about just giving you some information out there for maybe people that are a little shy or afraid to come and contact us. It's a way for them to get some more information, know what we do, know what problems are out there, and maybe some solutions so that you can fix all this stuff.
So, Dr. Powers, when we talk about fatigue, I think a lot of...
You think Army fatigue.
No.
Because you're illiterate. And Tom thinks that if you go to Dr. Powers, you get a free green pants.
I feel like there's a lot of dads out there listening that are like, well, I mean, I got kids. I have to get up, get them to school. I'm first, I think I'm an alcoholic. I drink so much. I sleep like a
hypothetical.
I'm fat. I sleep horribly.
Yeah.
I snore all night. My wife's yelling at me.
Oh, diarrhea.
Yeah. So, like, of course I'm tired. I think I have fatigue all the time. But there's, obviously there's a normal amount of fatigue, extra amount that you'll get from having, like, low testosterone or other problems. So, how do you know that you have fatigue or not?
Well, I think that's a common story I hear, especially from guys. They're like, listen, I work 10 hours a day, a hard job. I'm waking up early in the morning. No matter what you do, it's hard when you work 10 hours and you're there all day, right? And then you get home, do you feel like doing anything? And the common thing is, oh, well, I've been working hard, so of course I don't feel like doing anything. But it's not necessarily true. You didn't feel that way in your 20s. You went out after work. You went out with your friends. You have plenty of energy. It's just as we get older, our hormones start to decline, and then you don't feel like doing it because you don't have the energy. You don't have the body support that you need. So what you find out, and what patients find out once they discover their levels are low and we get them boosted up, they're like, hey, I don't have to take that nap in the afternoon. I feel good after work. I can play ball with the kids. I can do whatever, go work out, all these sort of things, and have more of an enhanced life. It's not like you're going to be Superman, but you're just going to have more energy to do the things you like.
Yeah, the people that I know describe it, and that's a good point. It's not like, it's also like, it's a gradual effect in that, like, you may not even notice it, and you turn around and you're not napping, and you're like, holy crap, it worked. It's not like you,
let's talk about the gradual effect, because I like that better.
Me
because
too.
I think people get scared.
It feels more natural and more real that way.
That all of a sudden it's going to be a night and day difference, like, it's going to be like all of a sudden, boom,
like taking an edible or something, next thing you know,
they're freaking out.
I'm just being honest, because this is concerns for people.
So it does happen gradually. Like, if you get on some sort of hormone replacement, it takes a while. And then how long do you think before you start feeling effects?
Yeah, it depends on the person, obviously. We'll talk about men first. Men usually see a faster response than women because we usually do injections, so you can get your levels up faster,
I thought it was
right?
because we're better at everything. We'll be right back.
Sorry.
You know what? Hold on. You laughed a little too hard at that, and I'll cut that out.
We'll cut that out. Sorry.
So
Dr. Bauer
obviously-
listens to the show. That's why he laughs.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
So if your level is much lower, you're probably going to have a quicker response, right? Because if we even raise your level a little bit and it was severely low, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel a bump. If your level is on the lower normal side and we're trying to get you up to normal, then you may have a little bit slower response. But usually what we see is with men, after about 4 to 6 weeks, you're feeling a lot better and you have more energy, maybe sleeping better. Some of these other symptoms might be going away, like you might have some more desire and that sort of stuff. With women, we see it's a little slower. A realistic timeline would be about 2 to 3 months. You start really feeling better. So that would be a typical guideline, but it kind of depends on where we're starting from, too.
So, again, you can sign up to be involved in this webinar. It's free,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah, it's free. It's
And-
about a half hour, so that's the time commitment you would have. About a half hour, you can ask questions, and then there's some good information you can download on there, some tips like PDF files you can download to have free tips of how to feel better in different areas. And we give you an offer of a free ebook at the end that gives a lot of tips on how to feel better. So if you watch that, you can go to myeternalvitality.com/webinar and just sign up right there.
There you go.
It's that easy.
And last question, Dr. Powers. Are there, like, elderly people on testosterone? Like, could my grandfather in his 80s have started taking testosterone and that would have, like, helped him build muscle? Because I feel like at the end of your life, like, why not?
Yeah, like roid raging.
Because you're losing muscle so fast and it's so hard to get back. Like, have you seen that?
Oh, 1,000%. I have people come in their late 60s, around 70s, especially men that come in. And, I had a lady come in, and I wish we would have had a time machine to go back with her because she has a lot of osteoporosis in her bones, and she now has to have some surgery, joint replacement, and that, and it's going to be very difficult because her bones are just so weak. And if we would have caught her earlier, maybe like 5 years ago, we could have helped her build more bone and prevent this, and she would have been able to have her surgery safer. So we're still working with her to give her some options and to help her with those sort of things. But definitely earlier is better, but it's never too late. It's never too late, especially for men.
Yeah, no, I know. I see it. The argument, like, I just don't see any other reason why you wouldn't take it, especially when you're older and stuff. Like,
No, we have a lot of listeners that have really benefited from the feeling of it, for sure.
Yeah, people are
for
like,
sure.
Oh, no, you're just
Turn their life around.
You're just supposed to naturally die. That's what we were like, okay. All right, so my other option is just naturally disintegrate and die? Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Anyway, Dr. Powers, thanks so much.
And again, webinar starts at, was it 7 or 7:30?
It's at 7, and it's every Wednesday.
Yep, every Wednesday.
Oh, that's great.
myeternalvitality.com.
You can sign up right there. Dr. Powers, always good to talk to you, man.
No, we lost him.
Okay.
Dr. Powers is great because, we're talking about it like being a business, and of course it is, but he really, like, before we even started.
He was talking to Andrea for about an hour last night.
Like, he's like, I'm not going to, like, I want to just help people in their quality of life, and that's it. And that's all I want to, and it's like, either I do or don't, it's up to them.
Yeah,
but
Andrea's doing, she's been on it for months now. We are seeing benefits, and now she's transitioning over to, like, even a different nutritional plan from him.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. Like, it's she's kind of working that out now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go start seeing him just to get on his nutritional app and stuff, because that's what
you want to make your balls smaller.
Well,
you want to get on the tee and you want tiny balls.
Yes, I do. But also, I know I could do better at my nutrition and then eat as, like, I need to plan it. I need to
you need to plan a smoothie. That's what you need.
I did all that. I need to do, like, the meal prep, because that's the only way that I can have as much protein as I need and then, like, actually dial down.
But how would you make fun of people that meal prep on Sundays if you're meal prepping?
I know. Well,
I have a lot of friends.
I'm gonna try to throw
it.
money at it some way.
I have a lot of friends that do it. Like John the barber does meal prep. My buddy
he
Will.
doesn't have
I
kids.
asked my buddy Will. Yeah, he doesn't have kids. I asked my buddy Will. I'm like, what are you doing on Saturday? He's like, I'm making my 2 vegetables and baking my chicken. And I'm like, I want to blow my head off. I don't want to do that.
Can I pay someone that has the time? Like, hey, I'll pay you $200 on a Sunday.
But it's
no, like a random person, like, cook me grilled chicken.
You're gonna pay some rando to grill it and drag their balls over the chicken?
No, I don't.
Who's gonna do it? Tracy will do it for you.
Well, no, I don't want to. Like, I need someone that wants the money every Sunday at $200 to grill chicken and then put it into little containers and deliver.
Are you buying all the chicken and stuff?
Yeah. I'll give my credit card. They buy all the ingredients,
and then you give them a $200 on top of it,
or whatever. I don't know what it's worth. $200 to me. Just the time it takes to grill it all.
Tracy does it for her husband. She grills. You should.
Well,
get
she's
Crystal.
a good wife.
You should get Crystal to do it. You know what? I think Andrea would do it for me. Let's do that. Let's do this. This is the experiment. You got to get your wife to meal prep for you.
No, she won't do it.
Why not? Tell her you'll pay her. Tell her you'll pay her $200.
She won't do nothing for money. I tried that.
Oh, really?
I tried that like a prostitute. I was like, I'll pay you $500. And she said, no. disgusting.
Separate bank
How
account.
can disgusting?
You gotta lock her out of the account.
Like, oh, how can it be disgusting? You know, you're disgusted by it?
Disgusting. I mean, we are kind of doing that now.
Anyway, all right, we will be right back.
Awesome. That was good, buddy. Really good. Got in and out with him nicely. He's always good on the air, too, which really helps out.
I want to do a segment with him where we go celebrity by celebrity, and he says on the tee, off the tee.
Oh, that's a good idea, dude. Because I got
It's
a lot
easy
of,
to
I got
tell.
the first one, the first one that I ever really met that I knew was Carrot Top. Like, cause that was before it was even super popular. Because he's been in the workout world a lot longer than most people.
Yes, yeah. So he's been doing it, but now it doesn't. There's not a celebrity that doesn't seem like he's not doing it. Like for sure, Brady's now just biohacking.
He looks really good. I'll say that.
Because all those guys have, the celebrity trainers that are into biohacking and stuff. They're all doing that shit.
Are we doing another one here? I forget.
Oh, sorry, no.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. No, you're good.
We have.
Oh yes. Do we have a?
No, we're good. We just have to schedule a weird job for tomorrow, and then our next interview is technically not till 2.
Okay.
So we're gonna come back at 1:30 and do Tuesday 3.
Okay.
And then.
So we'll be back a little. We'll be back at 1:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see you guys then.